Hello, today we are conducting a catalase floating disk assay to observe how enzyme concentration affects reaction rate. The materials that we will be using for this experiment are hydrogen peroxide, some gloves, filter paper, yeast, tweezers, and 2 normal-sized beakers. For safety, place a napkin under before you perform your experiment and wear gloves as well as tie your hair. Before we get started with our experiment, we will fill 1 beaker halfway with water. And now let's get started. The first material we're going to be using is our hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide will be used in order to create our second solution. Here we're going to be pouring it in halfway through our beaker as well. As we know, catalase is an enzyme that breaks down hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. The oxygen produced will be used to measure enzyme activity. Now that we're done with our first solution, which was the hydrogen peroxide, we're going to be creating our second one. Our second material that we're going to be using is our active dry yeast. We're going to pour it into the water. Once it's poured in the water, we're going to make sure it is mixed well and everything is able to dissolve properly. Always make sure you use the assistance of your teammates. Our third and fourth material that we're going to be using is our filter paper and our hole puncher. Carefully, we're going to be punching holes into our filter paper. It doesn't have to be many and it doesn't matter the size. You're probably wondering why we're using filter paper. We are using filter paper because they can absorb our catalase solution and trap oxygen gas during the reaction. Now that we are done punching our holes, we can save the filter paper for future experiments since we won't be needing it anymore. Now from this part, what we're really going to be using is the small holes that we just punched. That will be used as our disc. Please make sure that you have at least 3 of them so you can try this experiment at least 3 times. Now we are carefully going to grab one of our discs and soak it in our yeast solution. These discs are being soaked in different concentrations of catalase to test how enzyme concentration affects the reaction. Now, after our disc is significantly soaked in our yeast solution, we are going to place it into our hydrogen peroxide, and don't forget to start a timer as soon as it steps in the hydrogen peroxide. Once the discs are placed into hydrogen peroxide, the catalase begins breaking it down, producing oxygen bubbles. As you see here, our disc is barely going down, and very little bubbles are being produced. As you see in our video, we are slowly but carefully spinning our beaker for you to see our disc as it is all the way down in our beaker. As oxygen builds up inside of the disc, their density increases, causing them to rise onto the surface. As you're capable to see here, our disc started rising up, but our camera couldn't focus it a lot. But as you see, it ended up from being at the bottom to suddenly coming to the top. Since our disc went up, that meant oxygen built up inside of the disc, making its density to increase. I believe our experiment came out great. We followed every single rule and we were able to prove to y'all how catalase was tested. We apologize for our camera not capturing our disc going upwards. That was a technical incident. We really hope you enjoyed our experiment, and if you want to try this at home, it is a very easy experiment to do. But make sure you follow all the safety guidelines and always have a teacher or an adult next to you. Stay updated for many more experiments coming soon. And thank you for watching.